We're gonna do something real quick, really cute, and simple, very simple. So come on in and join me here in the craft room. My name is Susan, in case you're new here. I love to come on and share DIY ideas with you, whether it's decor or apparel or anything fun that I can think of to share a creative idea with you guys. I love coming on here to share it with you. So I hope you'll come in and join me here in the craft. I'm thinking tonight this kind of qualifies for eclectic farmhouse. Oh my gosh, where's my scissors? Okay, so this is the transfer we're using, the Highland Cow. Is that not adorable? Now you can do it with or without the bell. Some people have done it without the bell. We'll just do it with the bell. But look, two cute little headbands for it as well. So it can be a boy, I guess, or you throw a headband on it and it's a girl, right? So I have chosen this t-shirt. This is a t-shirt that I purchased from one of the companies that I like to get shirts from. It's based out in Florida, and it's really a great organization. It's called Be Kind. And it's sisters that have a small business, and they do tie-dye, and I got some plain tie-dyes. I usually get ones with their words on it and stuff, but I got some plain ones because I loved, look at the colors, look at those colors. I love this. And my daughter does do tie-dye, so if I really want something tie-dyed, I can get her to do it. But I also like to support small businesses, and I loved this color combination, how they did this. This is right up my alley. So I thought, okay, I was thinking about doing a watercolor design with this transfer anyway, so I don't have to do it on the t-shirt, but I can do it another time on a piece of artwork, like a canvas or something that I want to show you guys. So, but we are going to use the cow, and we're going to use the plain. Since I've got so much going on here with the colors, I'm going to use the plain headband. So we're only going to use two colors. I'm going to do the cow in one color, and I'm going to do the headband in another. And between that and the background, I think it's going to be a super artistic and super fun shirt that I won't mind wearing. So it's definitely not a traditional look, but I'm okay with that. I like to do something a little bit different, a little bit unexpected, and definitely something colorful. So hang with me. So what I'm doing right now is I am just cutting my transfer along this, I like to call it a score line. It's just basically a little line of silk screen that they use to separate different designs within a transfer if you have more than one design. So I'm just cutting that with my transfer trimmers, and they are specially coated so they don't stick, which is really nice. And I've already marked my transfer on the front. I didn't mark it on the back, but I'm gonna have the other headband on here so I'll know what's front and what's back. I think what we'll do is we'll do the cow first, we'll dry it, and then we'll add the headband on, because I want to get the whole piece of it. I'm not sure exactly how I want to put that on there. Okay, so I'm going to line this up on I have my ink mat already under here. I don't know if you can tell, I do have an ink mat under here, because when you're working on a fabric of some kind, you want to put something underneath it. I like our ink mats because they're sticky, so it holds your fabric in place, but then it also is a barrier so that your ink does not seep through to, hey there, Mary, that your ink does not sink through to the back, okay? So you always want something in between your front of your shirt and the back of your shirt. If you don't have an ink mat, they're fabulous because they're sticky. Thanks for joining me, Mary. I know you've had a long day too, girl. If you don't have them, even though it's sticky, it's wonderful. But if you don't have it, just use something. Use a piece of cardboard or something in between so that your ink doesn't run to the back. And that's whether you're using it on a t-shirt or a pillow, or I say a pillow, I mean like a pillowcase or a pillow cover. Thanks for the hearts, guys. So what I usually do is I try to find the middle based on like the tag. You know, I just use that, and I'm hoping that they've, because I eyeball it. I have those little gauges, those little guides that help you, but I never use them. So I feel like they take longer to use. It probably doesn't, but that's just what I feel like. So I kind of use that as my base, and actually I'm looking at this and I swear I don't think that's the middle, so I might just make up my own middle. And then I usually take about 3 or 4, I'm going to actually do 4 on this one, 4 fingers from the top. And a lot of times I'll cut my collars, you guys. I have no problem cutting the collars or cutting some out in the sleeves to make it a little more, well, distressed, but feminine, because this is obviously a unisex type t-shirt. But I do take about 4 fingers there, and that helps me decide where I need to put my design. And what I also do is I take my transfer. If it is something where I feel like I need to find the center, I will take my transfer and I will fold it. So you can do that. I've got the sticky sides out and I am folding it just to kind of find out where is the middle. And I just had the horns meet. So you find whatever, like if you had words or something like that, you would just put them together to where you can figure out where the middle is. So that's what I am going to do. And I'm going to move that down there. And then we are going to rock and roll. I really do feel like that tag is like off center. I don't think it's in the middle. I could be very wrong. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before, and I could be wrong. But hopefully, I'm not. Let's see. I feel like that looks like that's the center. But is this not going to be fun, you guys, with this tie-dye? I think it's going to be fabulous. Okay, once I have it where I think it needs to be, and I think it's straight, then I'm going to smooth it out. I'm actually going to lift it up for a second and look at it because I'm not that tall and I'm at a stand-up desk. So I have a hard time getting above it enough to make sure that it is straight on my shirt because I'm not using that guide that I have over here. Thank you for sprinkling, Mary. Thank you so much, you guys. So that looks like it's a little off. It is a little harder when you're dealing with a tie-dye like this because you got lines going all which way, every which way. But you know what? It's going to be fabulous. Nobody is going to come up to my shirt and say, I can tell that's off. If I wanted to, I could turn it completely cockeyed and then I wouldn't have to worry about it, right? All right, now if you have any fuzz, like I do right here, this shirt's been up here in my craft room for a while, so I think it's picked up some fuzz from somewhere. I do not wash. Y'all, I feel like I just did this the other day. I just had a ton, and I didn't even fuzz this. You guys notice I didn't fuzz it because I was putting it on material. I had the same problem the other day, but I used my fuzzing cloth, and that was why. This one has just been up in the room. I think I got a lot of dust getting moved around with all the stuff I'm doing around here. But once I have it where I want it, I'm going to smooth it out, make sure I have really good contact, and sometimes, hey guys, I'm going to use my new anniversary squeegee. If you're a designer or if you're in my monthly club, you get, hey Jeannie, thanks for joining me, ladies. You get on your anniversary, your yearly anniversary, beginning in August, you will get a squeegee of the year. So if your anniversary is already passed and you've either been a designer or you've been in the club for a year and it's already, maybe it was sometime before August, you will get the squeegee of the year. And this year it's Dream Car. Isn't that pretty? And if not, if you join now, then next year in July, you'll get a squeegee of the year. They're going to do this every year is what they're telling us. So that always makes me happy. I love little things like that. It doesn't take much to make me happy. Thank you for sprinkling, Jeannie. You're such a sweetheart. I appreciate it. You ladies. All right. Now I'm going to turn it around so y'all can see it. I am so excited about this. I was like, I kept thinking all day long while I was doing all my stuff, y'all, all my chores. I was like, oh, I want to make a shirt with that cow. What shirt do I have? I need to go out and look at my stash because I have a huge stash over there. And does that look straight, y'all? Does that look straight? And does that look like it's in the middle? I think so. What do you guys think? And I saw this shirt and I'm like, that's it. That's it. I'm going to do it on that one. Because I was thinking I was going to show you guys a watercolor technique with our ink. Did you know you could use our ink for a watercolor? Okay. So the color I chose, you see this? You see these colors in here? I've got something that's going to match it perfectly. This is our Tide ink. I love this color. So it's just a deep teal color, and I think it's going to match that perfectly. And I wanted something that was going to stand out. Since we do have a lot, it's pretty busy. I wanted something that was going to jump out off of the shirt. So we're going to use Tide. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I forgot to grab I need to grab a white, because you always want to be careful when you're working with the ink. Remember, ink, now obviously this is a tie-dye. If I get it on here somewhere, I'll just zhuzh it up a little bit and it'll look like it was part of the design. But if you're using any other kind of fabric and you're using ink, make sure you're really careful. You have something to wipe your fingers, you're careful with your ink, and you might even want to put an apron on if you're worried about your clothes. because it will leave a stain even if you haven't heat set it yet. Now, once I get done doing this, I'll let it dry, and then I will heat set it, and it'll be permanent. I can wash it over and over and over again, and it's perfect. It's not going to peel. It's going to look fabulous every time. Look at that color. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this color, you guys. Okay, I'm going to grab it right out of my jar. I need to get my stir sticks and get the ink into the middle, and we're just going to go for it. Now, I'm going to do the whole thing because this is an artistic look. This is not a realistic look. If it was going to be realistic, I would be doing it on like brown or something. I don't think I own anything brown. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I own anything brown. Maybe something like a light tan, maybe a camel. I'm not sure if I own anything brown. I'm trying to be really careful down here. If you don't think you can, put some painter's tape or masking tape down there. But I'm trying to be careful with my ink to not go off of my transfer. But as you can see, it glides right on here so easily and smoothly, and cup fills right in, and it doesn't take much, you guys. It really does not. I fell in love with ink the first year. I had been a designer for a couple months, and I didn't even, first of all, when I first signed up, I didn't even know we did ink. We had ink. And then when I learned about it, I was like, I doubt I'll be doing that. That sounded so scary. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. At that time, we didn't have the singles. You had to buy a jar. And I'm like, I'm going to buy one jar. I think I just chose white, which is unusual for me because I don't usually just use white on things. But I just bought one jar, and it was either white or black. I can't remember which color. And I said, I'll just try it. And after I tried it the first time, I fell in love with it. And then I realized I could do mugs, because I love my themed coffee mugs, you guys. I can do mugs. I can do anything I want to ink. I love that. I love customizing shirts. I love having shirts that are themed. And now I can do it because any of our transfers work with ink. And now we even have the single packets like this, single ink packets. So now you can try it, and you can get more than one project out of it. Now you can try it and not even make a big commitment. And even don't do it on like your very first time. Don't do it on like your only shirt you have. Go get an old t-shirt that you were going to either donate or that should be donated. You guys see, I am putting my ink right back in my jar, just like I do with my paste. See? Because I don't waste. And then close it up because you want to keep it moist. Now with ink, I will tell you, but don't do it on that. Like I said, get something old that you're not sure about and try a little one. Try a little one. Even get one of our minis and try it. Now I'm just making sure my fingers have no ink on it. But you have a little bit longer to play with ink because it seeps into the material that you're using, or if you're doing it on like a coffee mug, it doesn't stay on the transfer silk screen. It kind of goes on it, so you have a little bit longer before it dries. We actually either have to dry this with a blow dryer or let it dry 24 hours, at least 24 hours. You can let it dry longer. I usually do. Before you heat set it anyway with any of our ink. So you don't have to rush, and you don't have to worry about pasting and peeling and stuff like that, like I've shown you guys yesterday with that big project back there, how we had to paste and peel. And I did have to go back and fix it, wash the transfer and fix the areas that I had. But are you guys ready? Do you see it? All right, you ready? I'm so excited. This is gonna be so cool. Oh my gosh. I love it. Look at that. Okay, now I will tell you with your ink, when you're working, look, I got some on my fingers from the transfer when I just touched that. When you are working with ink with your transfers, I suggest you wash it right away. So if I was not doing a live, I would right now take my transfer to the sink and go wash it. Doesn't it look fabulous? Because if the ink dries in your silk screen, it is going to ruin it. I'm not going to say it's going to ruin it, but it could ruin it. There's a very good chance you're not going to get it out. It's not the same as chalk paste. So you definitely want to wash that right away. What I typically do, since I'm on my lives, even whether it's chalk paste or ink, is I have a spray bottle just filled with tap water, and I spray my transfers until I can finish my live, and then I go wash them. Okay? So I'm just telling you. Now, because we are going to put an adorable headband on this little cutie pie. Hi, Shirley. Thanks for joining me. I decided to go with the plain one since we already have a lot going on here. This little cheetah print is adorable, and we will be doing that on the next project with it. But I'm just going to use the plain headband, and the color I chose was orange because I have a little bit of orange. Isn't that cool? And I think that'll show up well here because this middle part is a lot of white, and I think it'll pick up the little bits of orange here and there that we have. So I think that's going to be a really cool contrast. But before I put the transfer on there with the headband, I want to go ahead and dry it so that I don't pick up any of the wet ink on that transfer either. Thank you, Jeannie. Isn't it adorable? I've never had a Highland Cow or any kind of cow. Now, ink does take a little longer to dry than chalk paste. So that's why I'm just being really sure, especially up here. I'm not that worried about that part, but up at the top I am. All right. So this should be dry enough that I can put on this cute little headband. So do we put it on her straight or do we give her a little sass? What do y'all think? She's already getting a little sass with this cute little headband. What do you guys think? Do I line it up on here straight, right on the top, or do I give her a little teeny tiny bit of sass and cock it over to the side? I'm kind of leaning towards the side because that's just how I am. What do y'all think? A little bit on this side or a little bit on this side? All right, guys, this is going to be done lickety-split. Now, I will not heat set this for you guys on the live. I don't do that very often. It's not that I can't, but it just requires making sure it's dry the whole way, and then I got to plug in my heat press, and I feel like it makes my lights go like that. And so I actually have a heat press, but you can also use an iron to heat press. You guys, you don't have to have a heat press. Look at that. You know I got that orange because we're going to need that for Halloween too. Plus, it's just nice and bright for summer. I love this color orange for summer. All right. Make sure it's pressed down really well, and then go for it. Now, I usually suggest when you are doing ink to either go up and down or side to side, not both. Just because even though I'm getting a very nice seal with my transfer because it's brand new, just to be sure you don't want it to bleed or run or anything. So I usually say go one direction or the other. Don't go both. Up and down or side to side, not both. Now, what you can also do if you want it to be a little darker. So like right now, I have just completely covered that transfer. It's all covered, but if I wanted to, I could just give it a few seconds, kind of let that seep in, and then I'm just thinking, sorry. I'm sort of thinking, maybe I should paint the inside of the bell a little orange. You know, I can't ever just leave anything alone. I'm wondering if I ought to take a little bit with a paintbrush and paint. I think we are. I just decided. But anyway, you could let it seep in just a little bit and then do another coat just to make it a little bit more vibrant, a little darker if you want. You don't have to. You can do it any way you want. Y'all tell me in comments, would you wear this? I think it's going to be super fun. And I bet there's not another one like it because, you know, every tie-dye is unique. And then you add this on it too. There won't be another one anywhere. Okay, so I have extra left on here. I'm going to put it back in my jar. Make sure you're careful if you're over your project so you don't get it on there. And then I have some in my lid. I'm going to wipe my fingers because I've got orange on it. And then guess what we're going to do? We are going to take, actually, I'm going to do something. I don't have a paintbrush up here, but I have this. This is one of my from my artist tool set. Look at that, it's dirty. From my artist tool set. And this is like a little foam tool. And you guys, I am going to paint. Well, we'll go ahead and pull this off. Let me pull this off. Show you guys how fabulous that looks. I got ahead of myself. I got excited. What I started thinking about was like an earring. I was like, oh, she needs some earrings. Man, I don't think I have any kind of transfer that would be like an earring. Oh my gosh, you guys, if I could find something that looked like an earring, I would put it on her in a heartbeat. Y'all, speaking of which, I don't even have earrings on. That's what kind of day I've had. I've been running. Isn't that adorable though? Look at that. Isn't that cute? And I feel like it picks up the orange just enough. I have orange here and there. But I am going to take, right here in this bell, do you see how it's kind of opening? I'm going to take and I'm going to paint a little bit of my orange. Just because I can. And I'm not even going to worry about if I stay actually in the lines. So what I initially had thought before I realized I had this fabulous shirt over there waiting for just the right project was I was going to just ink the cow, and then I was going to take my paintbrushes with my ink and do like a watercolor effect on the cow. But the shirt kind of already does that for me, so we'll try that process with another project that I think will be super fun. I just want to add another little touch here. You don't have to do this. I'm a tad bit extra. It's okay. You can be extra, or you can just do what makes you happy. That's the cool thing about DIY. So you get to choose what you want your projects to look like. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. I just feel like she's got to be coordinated, right? I would be. I'm always thinking about that stuff when I'm trying to make sure I look good. I want to be all coordinated. I can't wait till my daughter sees this. I'm going to send her a picture tonight. All right, guys. So we're done. We're done. I don't know if you can see it or not. Just a little bit. What do I do with my white? There it is. All right, guys. So that's my project. Hi, Elisha. That's my project. What did you say? The best thing is that one of a kind. Yes. Yes, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. And, oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So that's my project for tonight, you guys. I hope you love this idea. I hope that it inspired you to try something, and I can't wait to get to wear it. You guys will have to come back and see whenever I get to wear it. So I will let this sit for 24 hours usually. I'll let it sit for 24 hours, and then I will heat press it. If you need instructions on how to do that, or if you need help figuring out how to do your own ink project, I have included the link for the actual transfer, but that was it. But if you need help getting some ink, figuring out how to do, what other supplies you need to be able to do an ink project, please feel free to message me. That's what I'm here for. But I'm gonna let you guys go. 30 minutes, that's pretty good for me. All right, guys. Thanks for letting me bring this idea to you and come into your world for a little while. And until I see you guys next time, be safe, be healthy, and be blessed.